So welcome to this video where I'm going to talk you through how to open a file, append something into it and close it down. And it's a typical exam question. It's actually an exam question worth a lot of marks. First of all, I'll talk you through the files that come with the question. There's a Q6 PY file that you would edit and save your work inside. There's a password text file that's already got some information in it. This is provided in the exam. If I have a look inside that password file, it's got a username and password for a person, and then it's got this other person and their password as well, and they're stored just as plain text in a file. You would never store passwords like that, but for this exam question we can. And you might be thinking, so what exam question is it that I'm answering? And it's actually this one here, this typical exam question, 25 minutes. It's part of a sample paper that comes with the new 2020 spec exam. And let's have a little look. Now, the problem is, obviously, I'm talking and there's lots of text on the screen and you might be trying to read this, but I think the best thing to do is just for me to summarise what is expected of you in this question rather than reading all this. It's a 25-minute question, and you've got to open the file, create a new user, and store them in the file. And let's have a little look at what it says it should do. You should ask the person for their name, their first and second name, ask them for the password twice, and just check that they match. So obviously you don't want to just type a password and forget what it was, and so you always ask for a password twice and just make sure it works properly. You then want to, if the passwords match, then you create a new user, and their username comes from the text in the question here. It says combine the last name with the first letter of the first name. So if your name was Bob Smith, your username would be Smith B. And then you store that information along with the password in the file. And it says here the outputs are the new username is output to the screen, whilst a new record is added to the password text file. A record being the information for the new user. Now, if I was to do this manually and just forget about computer programming for now and go create Bob Smith in this file, it would be like this. It would be Smith B, and then let's say its password was the word hello. That's what your program would do, and then enter onto a new line like that. So you end up with your next person would go down here. So that's what we're trying to do, trying to create a program that does that. And there's quite a lot of logic involved in doing that. So I think the cursor for the file should be there, just to make sure that Bob Smith or whoever we create goes in the right place. So that's the process. Now let's actually go and do that then. So first thing I would do, I mean, you can double click these files sometimes. You can see that it says Thonny there, but actually I'm not going to do that just in case that's not how yours is working. So GCSE, I'm going to load Thonny manually myself. And I'm in the exam, the time's ticking, I've got my question paper in front of me on the desk, lots of information to get through, and I'm also trying to program at the same time. And usually, actually, that file wouldn't be there. It would just be, I'd have to open it manually. So File, Open, and I would go browse for where the file is. I've stored it inside this folder for now, but yours will usually be in a folder called Student Programming or Student Coding, something like that. Now you notice there's one line of code already in there, and it's the line that opens up the file. The file's called passwords.csv, and I was just looking at that file. If I go back, bear with me while I go find it again. Go back in here. You'll notice that my Thonny file, my PY file, and my password file are in the same actual physical folder on the hard drive there. They're in the same folder, and they have to be because otherwise, when I try and open the file, it won't. You can't find it. So they're definitely next to each other. That's useful. Let's just press run, and I'm opening it for read. Actually, it was set to append. I was just messing about with this file before I started the video. It was set to append, really, in your version of this code, which means that I'm going to add something onto the end of the file, but I'm just going to change it to read, just to see what happens if I try and read the contents of the file into a list. So my list equals the name of the file handle, dot read lines, and then, I don't know, print my list. And then once I've done that, let's close the file down. Close the file like that. So that should read the file, close it down, print it on the screen, and it's there. There it is. So I've definitely got access to the correct file, which is good. And if I was to go up there and just spam some silly file name in and press run, you'll see that it doesn't work because it can't find the file. So it's definitely working. Next thing to do is just print that out nicely. This has got nothing to do with the exam question, but I just wanted to just do this. So for item in my list, print item, and I'm going to do R strip, which actually gets rid of the new line character on the end of each person's information in the file, and it just prints it out nicely. I think that works. Let's have a look. Colon for my for loop, white space just to make it look nice. Go. It's working, printing everybody out. Now, that's not actually part of this exam question, but I just wanted to make sure I had access to the file and everything was working. What I want to do instead is actually write the logic for the creating the new person. And I'll be opening this file for append, so I can add them to the end. So let's just check I can do that. How about, I don't know, let's say the new person is Smith B, comma, hello. His password's hello /n to make sure it presses enter at the end of the thing. And then I'm just going to try and write this to the file. Passwords.write, and write that in there. And again, this is a good test. Make sure I know what I'm doing. I'll do this properly in a minute, and then close the file down. Like that. Close it down. If I run this, I should get Bob Smith in the file. Now, it looks like it hasn't done anything. If you look down here, there's nothing output. But actually, if I go and look at my file, maybe there is something in there. And you can see Bob Smith's in there. It's working. I know how to write to a file. Let's get rid of it. File, save, put it back how it was, back into Thonny. Now this time let's do it properly. So I'm going to put that right down, that code right down at the bottom for now. Get rid of that. I'm just going to hashtag it out. That's the last thing I'm going to do right once I've finished doing this. So let's go back into the thing and see what it is we're even trying to do. Ask the person for their first name and their last name. All right then. First name equals input. What is your first name? Let's do the same thing for the last name. Oops. It says no validation required. In the question, what that means is you don't have to check if their name is a real name. You don't have to check if it's got numbers in it or weird squiggle, I don't know, characters on the keyboard, asterisks, brackets, whatever. We're not bothered about any of that. Second name. So I'm not going to do, or surname we could call this. I don't know about second name. That's probably a bit of a silly variable name, surname. We don't have to do any of that validation. We just grab the information and job done. We'll just quickly build that into the username. In fact, no, I'll build the username in a minute once I've got the password and everything's working. Okay. I think it has to be in a while loop. Check this repeatedly. Yeah, it mentions repeatedly there. So I'm going to do this sort of creation of the user once we've got the password successfully. So I'll do this inside a while loop. While true. I quite like just using while true now. It's a nice quick way of just looping forever and just break out once everything's successful. So what I think I would prefer to do is just put first name equals nothing and surname equals nothing outside that loop like that. Right, so we've got the first name and surname, no validation needed. Now let's get the passwords. And I'm going to do that password one. Let's blank them off as well. You should always just get into good habits like this. Blank that off. Let's create these. These are going to hold the passwords. And I'm saying passwords plural because I'm going to get the password twice and check that it matches. So let's do this down here. Password, enter, password. It'd help if I could type. Sometimes just lose it. Can't type right. Password, question mark. Now then, I'm just going to go check the question. It says, ask for the password a second time and check it matches the first time. All right then. Password 1. So now let's get password 2. Grab that, ask for it a second time. Password 2. I'm just going to put make sure they match, just so the person knows it's the second time I'm asking them for the password there. Now an if statement. If the passwords match. If the passwords match each other. That's where we're going to go and actually create our user. If the passwords match. I'll do that in a minute. How about what if they don't match? Need an error message. Print passwords must match. Now I'll check the exam question to make sure my error message matches exactly the one that is required, but I'm just showing you the logic here. Passwords must match. How about please try again? And I've actually decided I'm going to go right back to the beginning of the loop by doing the word continue there. That'll just skip right back to the start of this loop and just start the whole process again. Now, I'm not necessarily suggesting that's the best way to do it. Maybe you could just do only the password bit inside a loop, because it's impossible to get your name wrong because there's no validation. But I'm just going to make them do it all again. I've decided that. And I'd read the question and see if that works. Maybe it should just be the password bit inside the while loop. But I think that it works. If you get your passwords wrong and they don't match, you go back up to the start of your loop. And down here, I'm just going to do a print statement for now and just put the word match like that, just so I know that they match. And then I'm just going to run this and see how it works for now and do a little bit of testing. What's your first name? That little box is in the way and won't move, actually. Let me see if I can just move that just out of the way. Right, what's your first name? Bob. Click there. Bob. Try again. And then Smith. Password. I'm going to say hello, and then I'm going to say hello again, and it says they match. Now, it's dropped back to the start of the while loop because I've not told it to do anything, but that's definitely a successful test there. Now, let's try again. Bob. Smith. And I'm going to deliberately make passwords that don't match this time. Hello and hello 1. And it should say that they don't match. Password must match. Please try again. So my logic is definitely sound there. Just bear with me, the school bell just ringing there. Right. So now I need to deal with a successful password and actually create the user. So username, that's going to be one of my variables up here, I think. Username, and I'll set that to blank as well at the beginning of this process. Now we're here inside this bit where it actually matched. I'm going to say username equals, and I want to get the first and second name of the person and create their username. So if it's Bob Smith, it should be Smith B. So the username is going to be the whole surname, which is there. Just grabbing that, plus only the first letter of their first name. Remember, you start at 0 when working with lists, and a word is just a list of letters. So that creates the username. And now what we can do is write it to our file. So this bit here should only happen if we have successfully created passwords that match, etc. Now remember, passwords is my file handle. So I can write this username, write that in, plus a comma. Now it's gone onto American keyboard there. I just need to just swap that back. Sometimes it does that. Put a comma in there because it's a comma separated file, plus the password. And it doesn't matter which one you use, they're both the same. They definitely match. So that's that, plus an enter, and start a new line like that. Shove that on the end as well. Now that, if I write that into the file, should write that new user in there. And of course, I want to break out of my while loop now because I've finished. Let's go back to the exam question and just see if I've met the requirements. Check the passwords match. Yes. Create the username. Oh, I've got to output the user to the screen. It says the new username should be output to the screen. I think I've done. So let's go. Just print the username to the screen. I'm just going to put welcome and then that username there. Print welcome. Your name is, and then print that out. Again, I'd look in the exam question to make sure my output perfectly matches what they're looking for. I've just made that up there, but that's definitely printing their username to the screen. I'm going to run it now, see if it does anything. What's your name? Bob. I think I've got one more thing to do in a minute, which is making it all lowercase. I'll deal with that in a moment. Smith. I think that's important. I haven't done that yet. Password. Hello. Match it. Hello. Welcome, your name is Smith B. You'll notice Smith B has got capitals in it. It's all supposed to be lowercase. I'll fix that now. Check the file, see if it's in there. It's in there. We've got a random blank line in there. Not sure if that's my fault or not. Anyway, it's in the file. Let's delete that. I want to make sure there's nothing else in that file there. File save. I'll deal with it not quite writing into the file properly in a moment if there is an issue with it. Let's make it lowercase. How about I can do all of that, and I think I can do dot lower there like that. I'm not sure if that's going to work. That could be it. Let's have a look. I'm going to do Fred Jones this time. Password, hello again, hello. Yep, that's worked. Look, I've got Jones F, lowercase. So this is how you can join two strings together up here and just make them all lowercase. It's the opposite of upper, which we've used in class quite a bit. I'm going here. I'm just hoping there isn't a random blank line in there. There isn't. That was just a file, just wasn't set up properly. I think that was just me from earlier. You'll notice the cursor is actually just available just below Jones F that I've just added in there. That means there is a new line has been started correctly. So if I run this again, I can add another person into this file now. How about Mark Reed? Password computer. Welcome Reed M. And if we go into this file, there I am. It's working. Close it down. Close it down. So one of the things that you could test just before I finish this video is that the negative test cases do as they should as well. So I could just type in any name, which is fine because there's no validation. And I should still be able to loop back if I type passwords that don't match. And I did this earlier on, but I want to just check now if I do hello and Bob as my two passwords that it says that your passwords must match. And there you go, it hasn't created that user and it's just started again and asked me for my information. And if I just do one more positive, I don't know, if I did William and then Smith again as a surname. We often have a lot of people with Smith in these test cases. William Smith, and it's asking me for a password. I'm just going to do ABCD1, try a number in there, ABCD1. And then there it is, Smith W, ABCD1. Final check, go in there. There should be a few things in here now because I've been spamming a bit of information into that while I was working. Interesting, the cursor is up there on that one. But yeah, there is still a blank line below there. If I was to do one last thing, and that's to remove the new line character from my program there. If I was to take that out, so that wasn't in there, every new person that I create will get put on the same line in the text file, and that will lose me marks in this question. So do look out for that. I'm well aware that that's a lot. This video is long, but that's what's required to get 17 marks in the exam. And if you look at the mark scheme that goes with these sample papers, you'll see there's quite a lot of information about how you score full marks on a question of this nature.